Why, hello everyone. It's the 2 minute warning of the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have the ball on the 15-yard line of Philadelphia. The score is not final of 35-35. There will be something going on. We'll see what happens, and we'll probably, unless there's overtime or something, we will probably find out the final score of this game before this video is over. So we'll talk about the football game. It definitely went over, and the algorithm said under, so we're missing that. If the Chiefs pull this off, then they'll pull it off and the algorithm will do something again that's pretty interesting, which is have them win by a few, and they're going to potentially win by a few, but we'll see what happens here. So let's talk about some other sports. This is the Monday 2 minute warning podcast. So college basketball and hockey we're going to talk about, as well as so NBA. This is a good disclaimer about what's going on with NBA. So NBA requires a lot of work. It has a whole bunch of different additions to it, like a macro that will run and do samples, and there's a testing queue. There's a lot of stuff going on in NBA, and I'm just gonna put it on hold because of I have to focus on other projects, and it's just, if you want NBA, I have methods of payment below in the description. You can send me money and say, "Can work on NBA," and that will guilt me into working on NBA. But until people send me money directly, I've sold like a couple in the last month, even. That's about it. So it requires hours and days of looking at and testing, and I'm just gonna not do it until people financially tell me to do it. So if you want that, you can send me some money. Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. There's that down below. So NBA is on the shelf because I only have so many hours in the day, and I'm going to try not to do betting anymore because it's not doing good things for me. But I can still do the algorithms. So college basketball, it was actually not a 6-1 day. It was more like this because I just updated stats in preparation for tomorrow. It was this. It was 5-2, but all the home teams win. All the home teams win because it's just away teams that you have problems with, right? And there was within a 5% bump range, that St. Peter's Manhattan game. So you can actually get that game right if you bump it a little bit. So could have been a good day. What about those over unders? One of the two I said hit. Right here, there was these two games. The Purdue Northwestern game did not go over, but the North Carolina Greensboro Wofford game went way over, even before the overtime in that game. So over unders, it looks like, I don't think it was this good. It says 5-2 on over unders, but it was actually 5-4 with yesterday's stats in there. So over unders are still over unders. What are you gonna do? Let's talk about one day because it's already in here, and I have stats updated as of Sunday. So we have games, and it's pretty easy to read, which is, it just says, if no bump going on here, you want home teams. And there's one value pick, which is Grambling over Prairie View at -280. But the rest of these, there's some okay lines down here. There's some injuries with Delaware, so that one probably stays off, and some injuries with Elon. So there's potentially reasons to stay away from both of those. But the rest of these, when you take this, you can say 9 games, you can expect to go 7-2 on a bad day, 8-1 on a reasonable day, and 9-0 on a really good day with teams like that. Now, some of these are unbettable way up here, even that. But the value pick of the day, Southern, Baylor, and Pine Bluff. There's 4 there that are better than -300. That's what home teams would say to do, but there's other things you can do with this algorithm. People send me messages commenting about how they use it to do other comparisons to make better wagers. You probably can go for it. You can get copies of this by sending me money, and I will send you copies of this. All right, so that's college basketball. Now let's go to hockey. Hockey goes 2-2 today. Washington loses a back-to-back game here. Vegas crushes it, puts up a lot of goals, and beats Anaheim. Edmonton doesn't beat Martin St. Louis coming out of the break. Montreal playing very well. And Seattle pulls basically an exact score here over Philadelphia. There you go. All right, how about Monday? Monday has The only, well, there's Calgary beating Ottawa, but they're a favorite. There's Nashville beating Arizona, but it's a closer game than you think, and that's not a bad line. It's Florida at about even money against Minnesota in a very close game, 3-3. Detroit and an underdog line over Vancouver. So there's your underdog. It's a number one pick of the day. So that's a good line for Detroit in a situation where they could probably win, assuming these goalies are playing. And then it says Buffalo over LA. Buffalo has not been playing well, though. So in that sense, it would say LA if you look at streaks. So that's a tougher game, but it does say play Detroit when it comes to hockey. So that's the Monday update. Doing videos on this channel, building this channel up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, just like we did on my other channel. We'll get there eventually, and I'll keep doing these videos when I can, and also do videos on a lot of other topics. Tax is really what I'm probably going to do. I have a big old things for the 1040 tax forms, and I have them all in Excel. So that's probably the next real subject. We are at, well, there are probably 11 seconds left in the fourth. It's 4th and 8 on the Philly 9. So I would imagine there is a field goal coming for Mahomes. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Oh yeah, somebody asked me, how did the NFL file do this year? And we have the results of that in all these games. And I don't think we're filtering anything. So it looks like I wouldn't worry about this percentage of win score very much, because that's not the one we really use. We use the projected score one. So it looks like we won 61% of our games, which sounds okay, but not great, because that's money line of just did the team win by our projected points. Now, the reason why this is a difficult question to answer is because, well, it's picking every game, but some of the games it says are so close. So do you want to count all those games where it's basically telling you it's a toss up? Like those are games you wouldn't necessarily bet because they're not supposed to be, it's supposed to go either way. It's what the algorithm says. So what you kind of want to do is you want to filter for certain projected margin of victories. And I think we can do this. We will filter value filters. Projected margin of victory is greater than 3.5. We're saying that they have to win by more than a field goal. That's saying a substantial, like at least a scoring drive difference. Let's see what happens. No, it doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is because we have to separate out every game by game to really look at this, which is why it's complicated. What we could do I have a game ID in here in the cube is a question. And it looks like I do not. So let's create one. Yeah, we can create one. So we're creating a game ID. And what the game ID is going to do is every game really has an ID number. All right, so we're just going in order. And as we do that, when we go back to the pick sheet here, we're going to break some stuff. We're going to break all this. Unless I insert something, this might work. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, now that we've refreshed, we're going to add this game ID. Well, let's do programming. So this game ID number that I just added right here, we're going to make that the very first thing. Yep. And that should work. So what this will do is this will allow us to answer that question, except everything just moved. Darn it. So the point projection one is now this, right? Yep. No. Yep. What happened here? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got stuff hidden. What happened? Oh, yeah, exactly. Everything just moved. So what has to happen is we have to move everything. This is why it's annoying. And this is not this. This is this. And this is this. And this is this. So what we're just doing is we're changing our formulas because somebody wanted to know how we did the whole season, and I'm going to answer that question after doing this. Because I kind of want to know as well. And so what we're allowing ourselves to do is filter by every single game. And as we do that, that will allow us to show which games we had projected margins of victory. This is actually supposed to be up here. How did we do this? I'm just double checking from it now. Whatever. I guess I screwed this one up. For some reason, I'm including the title. Don't know why. All right. So is this correct? Did we have 229 games this season? The way we can check that is to go here, and it's more. It's more than that. It's actually 284 games. Okay. Well, let's go back here. And we're going to change some color conditional formatting to have this make sense again. IJ, no, we're changing some colors to make this, okay, so D to E is really E to G now. Apply. This is E to G now. Apply and E to G now. So what this does is hopefully colors the proper columns. Yeah, I think it does. We can look better. So why do we have fewer games than we're supposed to? Oh, because we're only looking at Sunday's games. Filter, get a filter on down here. Now it's going to be right. 285, that's close enough for me. Yeah, 284, 285, sure. All right, so what happens now is we get to answer this question, which is how did we do this year? We went, okay, this should not be the same, but it is. Why is that? This should be different. All right. Apparently everything is the same. That's weird. So let's do what I just said, which is value filters greater than the projected margin of victory. And did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, by the way? Chiefs won 38-35. Let's say greater than 3.5. We're 121 and 64 or 65% win. And there's a way to test profitability and stuff like that. But that's what it is. And why? Oh, yeah, these are the only games with the spread. And oh, yeah, how did we do against the spread the whole year? Also, how did we do by team? You can just start answering questions forever. Teams against the spread, it looks like we went 125 and 132, so we lost overall. But there's so many different ways to look at this. Anywho, so the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and the file is now updated. Oops, it will be in a second. How do I get down there? This is the entire season schedule, which was in there at the beginning of the year, and the Chiefs win. So what that does is it allows you to look at the Super Bowl in here and see that the Chiefs won, and the algorithm picking a 3-point victory picks a 2-point victory, picks off a 3-point victory, even though it doesn't get the points right. Mahomes Magic comes through, and at least the algorithm predicted that, even though everyone's gut instinct out there, including me and people all the way in Oklahoma, also had the gut instinct that the Eagles defense was going to hold on. They injure his foot again in the end of the first half. It doesn't matter. The guy's magician. So that's the Monday Sports Algorithm Podcast. Subscribe, tell your friends, send me money if you want algorithms, all the above. Good luck. I hope your picks won today. I hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl and had a good party and everything else. And may all your picks be winning tomorrow.